Guys, welcome back to another episode of FTB Sky Adventures with me. I am Haliee, and guys, I've been busy doing some research, real life and in game, but let's go ahead and jump in and talk about what we're going to do today. So we left off last time. We were working on the blood altar, and I have to say, blood magic is actually just a really cool mod. Now I'm don't remember, this happens when you get older, where we left off last time, but we were making a lot of runes, and so I've got the altar here up to tier 3. Is set out here to go up to tier 6. I don't think we'll be going to tier 6 on this, but I want to do some stuff kind of in between just to learn, because this is actually really cool. Now, if you don't really have automation to better make the runes, it can be a little grindy, but luckily we have transfer nodes. I was able to make a bunch of runes. The process that I went through in making the runes automated was I took the regular transfer nodes, but there's also these little filters, these transfer filters that you can actually put on here to set to only pull one item at a time. Now this is from Extra Utilities 2, so you can set to pull a single item. If you don't have a way of making things to pull through, it can get really grindy, because you can do an entire stack, but it means you have to have enough blood in here for it to run. But Extra Utilities 2 makes it really easy. There is even a filter option in, and what is this from? This is from Ender.io, from the item conduits, where you can and make the filters. Oh, I forgot how to do it. There was a way to make a redstone signal to time the items to pull through just one item at a time every so many ticks. So depending on what you have available in your mod pack makes this a lot easier. Now in my research, I did find there's these little, what is it called? These little routing nodes, and I'm still in the process of kind of learning about those, but it does transfer items from one, pretty much from a chest to a chest. I'm still learning about it. If you guys have actually played with this, let me know, because I haven't found any good videos or explanations on it. There is a book in Blood Magic called Sanguinium Scientium that does talk about a lot of the things in here. I believe this is under, let's see, yeah, I was just going through the book and I came across these item routing. So there's a whole little section about here, 9 pages, but it really didn't talk about how it works. What I was wanting to do, if I can see if I can actually set up these item routers to transfer just one item, because that's from the Blood Magic mod, and if that works, then nobody's talked about it. So I'm thinking it doesn't work. Like I said, just because nobody's talking about it. Anyway, we got it all the way set up to tier 3. Getting to tier 3 is not that hard. You just need glowstone and these the 3 layers, including the altar. So you got altar, which is level 1. This layer here is level 2, and then you got level 3. And so the level 3, you actually need to put glowstones on these pillars. The 4th layer, I've got set up here. I've got enough rooms for the 4th layer, but on top of this layer here, I need to put blood runes, which are blood tiles, which are bloodstone tiles, which is actually from chiseled stone and a weak blood shard. A weak blood shard has to be gathered in a specific way. You have to make these bound blades. So we got bound weapons in this, and they're really easy to make as well. You have a bound blade, a bound pickaxe, bound oh, excuse me. I should take my allergy. Bound pickaxe and a bound shovel. So these items you can actually make, and they all use blood to either from you or from your network to do what you need. Now, to make the bound item, you just need to use your alchemy array. So you just make this item here in the Hellfire Forge. So use your alchemy array, and in the alchemy array, you're going to put a binding reagent, which requires some will. So we were talking about that last time. And I'll go through the will because we need some more will to do what we actually are trying to get. So you put it in the Hellfire Forge, you get the binding reagent, and then you just drop whatever weapon you want to make in it. Either you're going to use a sword to make the blade, you're going to use a shovel or an axe or a pickaxe to make whatever you need. So yeah, so we use the bound blade, and if I actually hold down shift and right click, it turns into a sword. Now, like I said, it uses blood either from you or from your network. Now, my network currently has 29,500. How do you get blood in your network? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. You use your magic orbs, well, in your blood orbs. You got different levels here you can make. So you're going to just right click. That is so loud. And basically it's just draining health from you. Now I've got my draconic armor on here, so any damage that I take is using power from it or entropy. So I'm not actually taking a lot of damage, but if I use my division sigil, you can see I just put in 35,000 blood into my network. That is not the same amount of blood that's actually in your altar. The network and the altar are two separate things. So just keep that in mind. So what you do, you use this sword. So you have to use this specific sword on a mob, and you have a chance of getting those blood shards. I've already done that. So I've got one weak blood shard here, and you're just going to combine that with stone. I think just one piece of stone is all I need. Stone. There we go. So we put that with a stone, and we get 16 of the bloodstone tiles. So one blood shard will get you that. And so if I use my division sigil, I can see, if you look here in the top here, this is a tier 3 altar. And if I put all 4 of these on top of these pillars on my original setup, now it's going to go to tier 5 because I've got tier 4. And once it recognizes tier 4, it'll recognize tier 5, which will require the beacons on the end here. So now if I hover over this, you can see that it is currently a tier 5 altar. So I've pretty much skipped all I needed just because I needed all the runes. Now I can upgrade these runes again. I can put more capacity runes. I think I can actually start making some of the augmented capacity because, let's see, where is that? It's a rune of capacity. The augmented capacity needed a demonic slate, and I could only make a demonic slate in a tier 4 altar. So I was waiting to get to tier 4 before I can even increase the capacity even more. So I'll do that in between episodes. Even talk about this ritual here in a second that we'll look into making. Now, I had a question last time, and Catherine said there are ways you can actually get will. Remember, I had a bunch of individual wills here. So I was saying, can I combine the wills? Well, where there's a will, there's a way. I'm going to start first to talk about this demon will aura gauge. So in your chunks, in each of the chunks, I've hit F9 twice. You can see all of these chunks here have stuff. If you notice up here, this tells you the gauge of how much will is in a chunk. Now with this sky block, all of the chunks are empty. Kind of sucks. But if I toss these items, these demonic wills, into this demon crucible, the demon crucible is made in the Hellfire Forge. It takes a crucible, stone, diamond, and lapis. And if I toss these in here, I think I just have to right click these in here. I believe so. Let's see if I just right click, maybe not. See, I did not think it would work. Okay, because you can see here I got a common Tartar gem. This gem has 427 will in it. Now, if I put this gem, see, I can put the gem in here, and you notice the number here, it increased. If I hold shift, I can actually see the number. Now it's taken out 100 will from this Tartar gem, and now it's down at 325, and it's put that in this chunk. So it's taken 100 will and put in this chunk. If you make the demon will crystal cluster, what this does, it gathers the will that's in the chunk and it turns it into a demon will crystal. That's about as far as I know. I mean, those are the things that you told me. I'm going to continue to do real research, Catherine, because I thought that I can put the wills in here and it will put those into the chunks, but apparently not. Now, what's going to happen, this has 100 will in it. Remember, hold shift, so we can see it's gone down to 97. This crystallizer here is absorbing the will in the chunk, and it's going to turn these into these demon will crystals, which are actually used for other recipes. You can use it to make the next Tartar gem, which we actually need to get all the will we needed for the purpose of this entire experiment. You can also use it to make the demon will crystal cluster. Maybe that's what she was talking about, and also use it for the aura. So they're also needed for the demon pylons. I'm not sure what the demon pylons are. Like I said, blood magic has a lot of cool things with it, and you really don't hear people talk much about it. So we're just going to see. I'm going to continue to experiment because I like it. Now, I'm also doing blood magic in one of the streams I'm doing with the squad. You know, I stream with the squad on the weekend. So on Saturday, we do the squad ta-da pack, which has all magic. And I'm actually doing blood magic in there. So I'm learning in both packs on how to do these. So I will come back here and tell you guys things I learned. If I'm on the stream, you guys can see me do that on the stream as well. All right, now we have a tier 5 altar. So let's talk about what we were actually trying to get. There is a quest, a repeatable quest in here to make a transposition reagent, which, you know, it's only for 25 each, but we can semi-automate it. I don't have a great way of actually automating that yet, but let's talk through the recipe. We talked through it a few times here, but just as a reminder. So you make this in the Hellfire Forge. You're going to need an item that has at least 1500 will in it. So I need to make the better Tartar Jim. Let's see, the Tartar Gems. You can see the common one only has 1,000. So I was going to have to upgrade to the greater Tartaric Gem, but I needed a Demon Will Cluster, but I also needed a Demonic Slate, which required the tier 4 Blood Altar. So we'll do that here in a second, because that Tartaric Gem can hold up to 4,000 will. Now, if we go back to the recipe for the transposition reagent, it only drains 200 at a time. So you're going to need at least that one, and you can make as many of these items as long as you have enough will in it. Now, making these items is kind of tricky. You need to make 2 at a time, starting with the Petty Tartar Gem, because each progression to make the next one requires a little bit of will and the lower item. So the Petty Tartaric Gem requires a Petty Tartaric Gem in order to make the Lesser Tartaric Gem. The Lesser Tartaric Gem will require enough will to make that. So you might as well make 2 of each time, which is why I kind of have 2 of the common Tartaric Gems, so I can go ahead and make the greater Tartaric Gem, because I'm going to need at least 1,000 will. So I need another greater a common Tartaric Gem. It's hard words to say in order to make the next one. Now, the highest level gem is the Grand Tartaric Gem, which holds 16,000 will. Whew, that is a lot, and it only requires another star. So it's actually not that hard to make, because we got another stars coming out of our EMC. But it's just a grind to get all of that will into it, because you have to use these sentient swords in order to fill up the will. Now, we are lucky because we have Project E in here, and we have the Repair Talisman, because these sentient swords do have durability. So unless you have like mending, you can actually enchant these. You can put mending on them. You can put better attack damage on them to make them, kill faster and actually, repair over time. Otherwise, you're going to need to make a lot of these gems, and that's just going to require more will to do that. So if you're doing this to grind these up, which I'm going to be doing, because I want to get the grand one, because I'm a completionist, to have as much will as possible. Let's look at the other items that we actually need to make the transposition reagent. So we need this teleposer. The teleposer is going to require us to a tier 4 altar. We're going to put an ender pearl in here. So let me go ahead and do this. We're going to finish up at least one of these. First, let's go ahead and upgrade our Tartaric Gem. No, wait. Let me get back. Let's do one item at a time. Slow down, Haliee. Slow down. Okay. The transposition reagent. We need at least 1,500 will. So we need to make a Grand Tartaric Gem, and that Grand Tartaric Gem, here we go, a Greater Tartaric Gem, requires a Demonic Slate, which is a tier 4 altar. So I need to get some slates in here. Now, I have a chest down here, but I have reinforced slate. That's the best one I have right now. So I can go ahead, and I think my filter is currently set. Yeah, so it's going to stay in here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my sacrificial dagger. It's going to fill that up. Now, the sacrificial dagger is supposed to give me, you can see it here on the side. I forgot what debuff that is, but in this pack, it goes away pretty quickly. This is like, It's a debuff that's supposed to last about 15 seconds. Now, like I said, it goes away very quickly. I don't have a debuff here, so I can pretty much keep pricking my finger. Because I have the altar here up to the second level, it is giving more blood each time. So it takes my entire health, but I've got regen and I've got hunger here, so I don't really have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and put this in here. We want to get this to the next tier, and you can see how much blood is actually draining. But again, I can just pretty much prick, and it's going to fill up my regen here. So I'm going to keep that full at all times. Should be able to go. Yeah, see the particle effect. So it is transpositioning this to the next one. I think that's already that one. So we're going to wait till the color changes on it again. It's draining really, really fast. Oh, I think, are you tier 4? You are a demonic slate. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get this Tartar Jim. So I need that. Let's see, a will crystal. Oh, I need another bound blade. Oh, not a bound blade. Okay, perfect. We got mobs in here. So let's see if one of these guys will give us what we need. I have to use that particular sword. Let's just turn this on because we need those little shards, specifically those shards to work. Now, the drop rate is pretty low. Oh, I got one. It's not that low, apparently. I got what I need there. And we got the crystal cluster. So let's go ahead and put these in here. Got the crystal cluster, that. And what was the last item I needed? Oh, I needed one of these. So we'll use this common Tartar Jim. I'm going to use the will from this one. And we'll get the greater Tartar Jim. And is it filling the will from the chunk? You guys saw that, right? Hang on. Was it this that fills it back up? Okay, that was weird. That was weird. That will get in there. I'm sure you guys will let me know what was going on with that. All right, so now we have the greater Tartar Gem. So we don't have enough will in there. We need 1,500 will on it, but we'll go ahead and work through the rest of this. So we got diamonds, obsidian, and ender pearl. So we're going to make the teleposer. The teleposer requires us to have gold, ender pearls, and a teleposition focus. And that's just an ender pearl and a tier 4. So let's go ahead and grab an ender pearl. We'll put that in here. And it should go fairly quickly to turn into what we need. Let's go ahead and fill that up with our blood. I wish I remember what that, I think it's like ghostly image. Oh, and it's done. There we go. That is very quick. So we're going to go ahead and craft us. And I've got it kind of shown here because I can set up, I'm trying to think of ways to automate this. I can set up possibly with a crafter to automatically craft these items. And then have a stack to put it with this recipe along with a gem that has enough will. So the greater Tartaric gem we're going to fill up with more will, and we'll work on that in between episodes. All right, so lots of fun stuff with blood magic. Again, those give us like $25 a quest. So that's how you do that. Now, let's go back and let's look at some things we're going to work on. So back in the magic tree, there's a bunch of quests we haven't even submitted in here. We can make the dagger of sacrifice. Let's see, dagger of sacrifice. That is just a sword, an iron sword. I already have that in EMC. Sword, an iron sword over on here. So we're going to go ahead and submit these. The tricky parts of these, again, for these quests, is most of them consume the item. So that does not make it as user friendly. Oh, stay up there. Don't click it because it starts it over when you do that. So yeah, we'll just go down the rest of these blood magic quests that we can do and see what we're actually going to aim for to finish up that line. There's the dagger of sacrifice, and if I quick complete it, I just earned $5 and that quest is complete. The sentient sword, I have one. I'm going to have to make another one because that is going to actually take that away. Let's go ahead and claim that quest. Quick complete, and that was $10. Woohoo! An air sigil. We have not talked about sigils and runes. Oh, sorry, not runes. The Master Ritual, Rune of Sacrifice. I've made a bunch of those. Matter of fact, you know what? I just will take this one from here. Did I have a Rune of Sacrifice? Oh, Rune of Self-Sacrifice. I have to make a Rune of Sacrifice here. But the rituals, let's see. Let's start with the air sigils. I have to remember how to make that. Air sigils. You take the air reagent. It's not too hard. A reinforced slate. An air reagent is a gas tier and 2 feathers. Let's go ahead and get the gas tier and 2 feathers. And let's see, how much will do we actually need in that? Doesn't look like we need just a small amount of will. So we're going to go ahead and take, we'll take this one that has the will in it and make that. So gas tier, 2 feathers, and grab some will, and it's going to give us a doohickey. Then I'm going to take the arcane ashes. That should have made that. And I need to put in the arcane ashes a reinforced slate. Do I have a reinforced one? I do. Reinforced slate. All right, so let's get all these over here. So first we're going to take the ash on the ground. So I like playing with these things. They're so cool. Get over there. Get over there. All right, arcane ashes. We drop this in there and the reinforced slate, and it spins, and it's going to give us an air sigil. Like a little top. Spinny, spinny, and boop. There we go. Air sigil. And we're going to go ahead and complete that and get our $10. The Master Ritual Stone. I cannot say these words. The Master Ritual Stone takes ritual stones, which it looks like is some reinforced slate and obsidian. See, I don't think I have enough reinforced slate. I need 3 more. And let me go ahead and lock this. So I can go ahead and make all 3 of these. I'll make one at a time. Put some blood on it. And I know we're at the end of this episode, but this is the easy stuff. The hard stuff is trying to figure out how to get all these things to do what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to be grinding out that sword to fill up that gem. And I think this, so I just need 4 of those and some obsidian. Okay, so I'll grab some obsidian. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4 obsidian. OBSIDION. Okay, do I have my blood orbs on me? Of course not. They are in there. I said, where are they? All right, so we'll go ahead and make ritual stones. And then, I need 4 more obsidian, right? Okay, then to make a master ritual stone, I need 4 more obsidian. OBSIDION. Now this is going to come in handy because there are rituals that you can make, and I'm going to do the Well of Suffering, because the Well of Suffering is an awesome ritual where with Cursed Earth, which will produce a lot of mobs, will allow mobs that are being killed to automatically generate blood into the altar. This is where those runes of sacrifice are going to come in handy, but you'll have to wait till next time to see how that's going to work. Right now, guys, I do want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the episode and are enjoying the series. If you have any questions or comments, leave us down in the comment section. Comments, guys, come on, tell me what I'm missing on Blood Magic. It's a really, really cool mod. It's got so many other aspects that I've never really dug into, so I'm looking forward to it. The living armor, it's going to be really fun to play with. But anyway, questions and comments, leave those down in the comment section. I will get back with you as quickly as I can. If you're new to my channel, make sure you click the like button, the subscribe button, and that notification bell to be notified when new episodes come out. And if you want to hang out with me and any of the other squad members, you can do so by becoming one of our Patreons. Click on the Patreon link in the description field to learn about all the awesome, cool rewards we have for you to choose from, such as hanging out with us on our many servers. Remember, on Saturdays, we stream live from the Squad Pack. Ta-da! Pack. Where I'm doing much more with Blood Magic and having so much fun with that. You can also chit chat with us on our Discord at our various levels. So click on the link to learn about all the awesome rewards and what you can have access to. Now, if you want a server of your own to play with, play on, or play with your friends, head on over to Host Havoc. Use the link down in the description field so they know you came from a squad member. Guys, these guys are awesome. They communicate with you always with what's going on, and they are on top of things. I'm not just saying that just on the squad why I'm actually a client. You know, like the hair club people. No, I actually have a personal server of my own, and they're totally awesome to work with. So, all right, well, guys, I'm going to continue to play with blood magic, get some rituals set up here, gather lots of blood, gather lots of will, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.